Are Dark Elf Cold One Chariots any good in patch 5.2? Now, I'm someone who at least tried to make them work before they were cool. In fact, I was doing Dark Elf campaigns when the Scourge Runner first came out, and that's had a history of bugs and tweaks. So what about the regular Heavy Chariot? We've seen the Skeleton Chariots, and yes, I know, real-life chariots. This is Warhammer, baby! It's not real life, and I am grateful. You want to wargame in that universe, not live in it. Recruited for 1100 gold and 275 upkeep per turn, and there's worse out there. On Ultra, you get 4 chariot entities with 6,208 health between them. Armor is 110, no shields. Leadership of 65 is not that bad. Speed 66 is mitigated somewhat by charge speed 100 because that's actually decent, but you will still feel the lower speed. Melee attack starts at a mere 24, but if you've been following, that's not weird for chariots. Pitched melee is not supposed to be their forte. Attack interval of 4 is average. Splash rocket size of very large means that fellow chariots will be damaged, diluting their own damage, and max targets actually damaged is 4. Melee defense starts at 23, and that's low, but not shocking. Weapon strength is given as 44, split between 12 base and 32 armor piercing, with a bonus versus infantry of a mighty 22, so much stronger at running over normal troops. Charge bonus is 50, which is decent without getting anywhere near like top tier in the game, and mass is 1500. The unit is officially classified as a missile chariot, so it has a ranged component to think about. Ammunition is 24 volleys, range 125, official damage put at 183, but each projectile does 8 base and 24 armor-piercing damage. There are 2 dark shards riding in the back of the chariot, and each is firing a crossbow with 2 projectiles, so that's effectively 4 bolts per unit of ammunition, and thus per volley, and that's per chariot. Arrow projectile type means that shields can block this, but reload time of 7 keeps the output up. Curiously, total accuracy is given as 40 to start, an unusually high number. Calibration distance of 85 seems decent, calibration area of 2.6 is relatively tight, and there is no penetration. The unit causes fear, benefits from primal instincts. Let's recap that. Under 50%, you get plus 15% charge bonus, plus 5 melee attack, and 5% physical resistance. None of that is at all trivial or token on a chariot. Moreover, Murderous Prowess would give this plus 15 leadership, plus 15% charge bonus, plus 25% melee attack, and plus 20% armor-piercing missile damage, which is most of the missile damage it does. Also, what do you not see here? Rampage! It's not here. Not anymore. As for how the charges work, at 1500 mass, your charges will last a little longer before grinding to a halt, but that still only goes so far, literally and otherwise. In sustained combat, well, it's not fun. You don't want to be in sustained combat. You really want to cycle charge, if at all possible, and their mass and low entities helps you get out as much as it helps you get in. That's important. In the Redline skills, Knight Lord, and not Raid Leader, governs the chariot, granting at 3 pips plus 6 melee attack and plus 6 melee defense. Rank 7 ones benefit from Favor the Fortunate, offering plus 5 armor, which isn't much, plus 12% weapon strength, which is extremely welcome, and plus 12 flat charge bonus, which gimme. In a tech tree, Broken by the Lash get to plus 10% speed, and any extra speed helps. Past that, it's really quite late, but Under the Oak adds plus 5 leadership, Bloodforged Plate Mail adds plus 5 more armor, Serrated Blades adds plus 5 melee defense and plus 5% weapon strength, and Bred in Captivity adds plus 2 recruit rank. So basically the same stuff as the Cold One Knights. So how do you use the Cold One Chariots? Well, this is what I was asked about, and that's why I did this video. Granting that there is a missile component, but it's just not long-lasting enough to worry about it deeply, yes, it can operate as an annoy into charging your lines skirmisher, but its real job is to take opportunities and plunge into the foe. Obviously, braced spearmen are a bad target from the front, but the idea behind collision damage is that the charge bonus inflated melee attack and weapon strength will do damage to X number of targets on the first second, on the second second, on the third second, as long as the charge is actually continuing, and any part of the chariot can theoretically inflict this damage during the charging animation. That is to say, rolling over stuff, good. Staying and fighting, extra bad because of the opportunity cost of not rolling over something else. Moreover, once someone tipped me off about the skeleton chariots, non-archer type, having different animations because of the halberdier in the back, not necessarily damaging more targets but doing a lot more disruption. I've paid a lot more attention to these animations, not having been some kind of awesome chariot expert before. Here, neither the Dark Shards nor the driver have any melee animations. All of the pitched melee combat is being done by the Cold Ones themselves, and therefore very focused on the front of the chariot, aside from some tail sweeps. Are you splashing 4 targets at once between the two of them? Maybe and maybe not, but that 4 is going to play a bigger role during a successful charge. However, your ability to get unstuck has its hard limits. It's easier if you can escape through your own engaged lines, but still fatigue builds up and reduces your speed and bonuses, and so on. Since you open up ranged and end up fatigued and being torn apart in melee, this is like a weapon in an RPG that has a higher minimum damage and a lower maximum damage. It will consistently give you battle output in a certain range. The armor piercing adds to the consistency factor. You're not likely to get 50,000 damage out of one, and this is of course the curse of being a hybrid unit. It's very decent at a lot of important things, but it's not a powerhouse in any one part of that to the point of dominance. Dark Elves use a lot of magic, and a lot of it is area effect. If infantry are clogging up the works, you can drop serious spells, and the chariots won't really care. Chariots, generally speaking, are anti-infantry specialists, and that includes this one. While they can help against even armored cavalry, that's a bad use of them, all things being equal. So you either help as part of a gang, or more likely you are just trying to lead the cavalry into a wall of spears, and even Dark Elves get Dread Spears as a bottom basement unit. Also, lots of Dark Shards and Shades, so being chased by nasty trolls or minotaurs shouldn't be that much of a problem. Any chariot, well, most, the Scourge Runner is a bit of an exception, loses a ton of its power and utility as soon as infantry are no longer present, but in most battles they are. The core conceit of the Cold One Chariot is that it is armor-piercing melee, which applies to the charge bonus and even the collision damage. Impact damage is separate and lesser. Armor-piercing means that the chariot entities can and will do grievous damage to dwarf units through their armor, and while they'll take a beating back if they stick around, they can plow into elite units like Lore Masters or White Lions and almost completely disregard that armor. Of course, you're going to succeed a lot more if you're charging. This becomes more difficult in oceans of infantry. You will drown in them. So, skim the surface, go a little shallower, take some off the top. It adds up, and the rest of your army will appreciate the help. Take care, and have fun knowing that these chariots do not rampage! Yay!